Friday Night Live. What's up, guys? Chewbacca Cox. Covert rigs everywhere. Typhon Royal Blue crossbody bags. Those things are sweet. Looks like plain Typhon's coming. Typhon Royal Blue double wide crossbody bags. Jason Lariviere, I'm sure I'm slaying your name, buddy. You're still hustling? Right on. Multicam black crossbody bags. Looks like those were cut. Maddie, what's up? Joshua Winnie, what's going on, man? Brandon McGuire, Amanda is first. SOE Nation, been a while. Steve Walters, what's up, man? What's up? Why has it been a while? I hope everything's good for you. Hope it's by choices, man. Monica Parks, what's up? Charlie Wood, Big O. Jason. Jose Rivera, what's up? Steve Molina, what's going on? Byron Roberts, what's up, buddy? Which one of you dudes is Jake Andrew Reed? Any of you guys? Everything's great. Doing 75 hard and live hard program. Good, awesome, man. Are you on Arete? Arete Syndicate? I'm buying medical at full retail. Oh, I didn't even know I was getting those. Those are cool. My super kit showed up. Fuck, man, that took a long time. My wife says they're awesome. Iridium. You could put your wife in one of those things. Kid is finally off the training wheels. 2-mile ride. Ended in the dark. Typical my family. First day on 2 wheels. Let's do it in the dark. It's awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm not an RT syndicate yet. Right on. My buddies in the trailer park want to know if you make a 6-pack chest rig for Bush Light. You will be happy to know that you could actually put, I think you could probably put a 6-pack in an AKM4 micro rig. All right, guys, 45 of you on here. I need you to do that free thing. Hit that like button, that thumbs up. You got questions, throw them out. We can have a conversation. It's Friday night at 9 o'clock. And rather than doing other shit, I'm hanging out with you guys. So, two-way conversation. You guys type it out. Give me something to discuss, talk about. And we'll go. You guys see a Panic Prepper video went up today. On the compound video went up today. I think there's another video. We did the private video this week. Is 3 hours long. I think it's being loaded in 6 30-minute sessions. I believe that we addressed everybody's email questions, everybody's comments, and we picked, how many winners were there this week? 5? I thought there was more than 5. I was the first like, don't blame me for the idiots. Brandon McGuire, Arkansas Infidel. Hey, we were talking about you on video today, as a matter of fact. If you're working in the shop, which sewing machine do you find yourself going to? So this is my mess over here. I can sew on any of them. If you can sew on one of these, you can sew on any of these. But this is mine over here. This old ass console. I was on one before even older than this. It had a fucking lever that was reverse of this. But all these machines I've sewn on at one time or another, probably. Are you going to the range this weekend at all? Josh, I am. We're going out for the bonfire, for the fire tomorrow. Joe Sondag, what's up? Three River Blades, what's up? Michael Turner. Got shipping notice today, Byron. Right on. He has his own cave away from everybody. Is any of that museum stuff upstairs real, like the Egyptian stuff? A lot. The Egyptian stuff is not real. And here's what you will also find. A lot of guys in the United States have real Egyptian stuff. And when they're asked, they tell you it's not real Egyptian stuff because a lot of that stuff is considered stolen. And really, the United States is the only place that actually enforces any of that. Like the Marine Mammals Act, right? Fucking whales wash up dead on the beaches and porpoises and shit all the time. But if you want them, you're not allowed to touch them in the United States. You got to push them back in the ocean and let ocean life eat them, or you have to be a museum or a educational group of some sort, right? But you, Joe, can't go to the beach and pick things up off the beach and take them home for your collection. Everywhere else in the fucking world does. You can buy everything you can think of in Canada, and most people that keep oddities collections and antiques and stuff, the majority of them keep them outside of the United States. There's a lot of flats and businesses like that in France and UK and stuff like that. I don't have any real Egyptian stuff. I have some very good reproductions of Egyptian stuff. I have a lot of real antiquities, but not Egyptian. No, they're not. The Egyptian stuff I do have some cool Egyptian stuff. There was, when King Tut toured the United States, the King Tut exposition was at the Field Museum, right? The Field and Stream Field Museum. And he was in a quad on display, and there was 4 entrance ways into that area. And they had full, perfect reproductions of the death mask. And I have one of those 4 reproductions that's actually real gold gilded and everything. I have one of those. The sarcophagus that I have is not a real sarcophagus. It's a reproduction. It's a very good reproduction. But it is, in fact, a reproduction, and there are bookshelves. There's like shelves inside for books. The more recent ones held CDs, and they had some that were hold like pool cues and shit. They're cool, but it is not, in fact, from Egypt. During the World Fairs, there was a lot of real Egyptian stuff here in the United States. Even in the back side of like the Chicago World Fair, there were people actually selling mummies on the sidewalks and shit. Working late night, have my SOE cigar case. I get a lot of compliments on it. Do you can any more in stock? Three River Blades. I do have cigar cases. The inventory, I think, should be pretty spot on online. It should be controlled and locked. And these right here are, in fact, all cigar cases. These are all EDC organizers. These are the little EDC pouches, or pouches or packs. And these are the injectables cases. 5x7 right in the rain, sleeves, zippered knife portfolios, zippered knife or watch knife roll-ups. I've got 7-cell and 5-cell. Stand-up pouches, micro cocks, pocket slides. These will hold like 2, you can put 2 knives or a multi-tool and a knife in your pocket and have them not eat the shit out of each other. And also not print as much. And then I've got these will hold 3x5 right in the reins, and they have 3 cells on them. We have a bit of that stuff. Any trouser belts? No, they're never available, and we only build them when you order them. Do you have that haunted piece from Salem? I do, and it's not haunted anymore. I do have it, absolutely. I think we talked about a lot of that stuff on the private video today. There were quite a few questions about collecting antiques and haunted things and stuff like that. We actually probably spent a good hour talking about stuff like that. Gary Johnson, what's up, man? J&T Shooter Review, what's up? Dale Woodmansey, what's up, buddy? There was a dinosaur skeleton, ancestor of T-Rex, went up for auction about 2 months ago, 20 million, I think it sold for. Steve, do you know where that took place and who auctioned it off? What people have they don't realize, right? Because we see dinosaurs in the museums as kids, right? That's when we really have an interest in it. People don't realize most of those that you see they're resin, right? Or they're actually 3D printed nowadays. But mostly they're an injection or composite like resin material. And even the T-Rexes that have some real bone, they have very little real bone in most of them. And you, as a dude who has interest in that stuff, there's a dinosaur hunting group and somewhat of a museum, and of all places, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And they have a T-Rex on display, and they have all the molds to build you a life-size 1-to-1 scale T-Rex dinosaur, and you can buy that motherfucker and display it in your living room. It's pretty cool. Last I heard it was $18,000 to have one done up. So, you know, you have to really like dinosaurs, or you have to just have money that you want to spend, or be an educational facility of some sort. But those are available. You can get them. If you go on Alibaba and type in dinosaur, they have all kinds of amusement park and like museum stuff, and they'll build you a very, very good looking dinosaur, whether you want skeleton or actual like live, you know, not live, but what it would really look like. They build very good quality museum pieces, and they'll ship them fucking right to your door. They'll come into port, and then you hire a company that'll bring the Conex boxes to you, right? The Dinosaur Museum in Murfreesboro. I'm going to have to take my son. Totally should, dude. Totally should. You'll spend an hour or so there. It's not huge. The people in there have knowledge, and it's pretty neat. It is pretty neat. Everlasting Action Jackson missed the stream for a couple weeks. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. That's what I've heard about dinosaurs. We've never seen actual real bones. So the bones that we dig up, they're not actually real bones, right? Because the bone rots away and it fills with mineral, and it's actually a mineral deposit is what you see of the bones. When you actually find and dig up dinosaur bones, they're not actual bone for the most part. Don't let them make a raptor skeleton. Nicole will make me buy her one. I have a raptor. I have a little raptor piece that I actually got out of that place in Murfreesboro, and it's resin. Does the cigar case prevent crushing? Brandon, if you sat on it, you could still crush them. It does have some rigidity to it, but it's by no means crush proof. It's stiffer than our zippered knife pouches. I had a fucking milkshake before I got on here. That's why I'm coughing. So this is supposed to be. So it's a misconception, the movie about, you know, with the velociraptors. This is supposed to be a life-size velociraptor skull right here. So a little bigger than a chicken. Three-unit EDC slide is great. Carry mine every day. Flashlight, knife, and 2 pins. Plus right in the rain inside the pocket. What's up, John? I saw you had a bunch of piglets born today, or recently. It ain't that scary. It's not that scary unless there's 20 of them little motherfuckers. Imagine, like, we know what chickens do, right? I feed mice to chickens every day. Live mice. And they rip them in half. They literally tug of war them in half. So imagine if there was a much smarter chicken with canines, you know, with much more teeth, that was 4 times the size of a chicken. I'd be worried about that. Kind of wonder what goes through animals' minds when they see those giraffes. I think that most animals have never seen a giraffe, so they probably nothing goes through their mind. Margarita Friday, not yeah, pretty soon. Just saw a saber-toothed tiger walk by, John. Do you have any houseplants? I don't have any houseplants. Occasionally Amanda buys some houseplants, but we really should just put a timer on them and see how long it takes them to die, because we don't ever take care of. I barely take care of the plants outside here. It's a good thing that sometimes they get rained on. How do you know you found a bald eagle feather? How do you know you found a bald eagle feather? So I don't know the answer to that. But for us white folks, it's illegal for us to have any remains of a bald eagle. It's actually, in fact, illegal for us to have any migratory game birds parts at all. When you see that beautiful robin or a cardinal dead on the side of the road, the powers that be would tell you that you have to leave it and you're not allowed to pick it up and take it and taxidermy it or preserve it in any manner. Again, the United States is the only place that enforces any of that shit. And it's a trip that our own citizens are more interested in telling on their fellow man than assisting or helping in a positive manner for the most part. And it's just one of those things. It's absolutely crazy. However, I had bamboo that lived indoors with no outside light for 8 years. Yep, that's true. Red-tailed hawk feathers in California are like, yeah, everything is. All raptors like that. So I would say do whatever the fuck you want to do and just don't tell the asshole that don't tell anybody. I remember California Fish and Game were hemming people up for said things, making stuff with said feathers. Yeah, how is Scully doing? I haven't talked to Scully in a little while, probably a month. Chase May, what's up, man? Long time, dude. Walk up to the game warden and ask him. He will tell you if it's an eagle feather. That room is like a museum of odd things. Amazing. Yeah. And yet turkey vultures are protected. One of the ugliest animals in existence, yes. And there's always that fight, right? Because as a farmer or a rancher, you have the right to protect your livestock, but it really comes down to kind of the temperature of the environment, of the game warden guys, right? I mean, just kind of ask around if you have game, because they peck the eyes out of newborn calves. And those black vultures that we have here in Tennessee, they peck the eyes out of the newborn calves. So, considering opening the property tomorrow. Yeah, the property will be open tomorrow at 10 a.m. We will be open most of the day. We're going to be here anyways, working and just doing shit. So we'll open the gates. And as long as people are here, you're welcome to. As long as people come here, we will hang out with you guys and talk, and you guys can come in, shop, or whatever it is. If you want to just come by and say hello, that's fine too. But we will be here, so yes, you will be able to come here. And then we're gonna go when they light off the bonfire, the pyre. We're gonna be out there for that. Local game warden is a rancher himself, so he is really understanding. See, Tyler, that is a huge plus, right? I have an invasive species of bamboo I need to kill. The bunch is about 10 feet around, 30 feet tall. Is there a chemical? So LV, I hear that there is chemicals. B, it's 30 feet around. Are you sure that it's running bamboo and not clumping bamboo? The threes: shoot, shovel, shut up. Yeah, and be aware too. If when guys are like, well, I'll just handle that. I'll handle that pesky eagle myself, or I'll handle that hawk. A lot of those things have trackers on them. And trackers have gotten a lot smaller, and a lot of those animals are chipped also. So, like, just be aware of that when you're having that conversation with yourself. That rabbit is sick. Yeah, I love that rabbit. There was 2 of them, and I should have bought them both. But I never buy. There's a lot of stuff I don't buy because there's not a left and a right, right? So on the screen, it's on the left, but on the rabbit, it's on his right eye, the monocle. I really wish there was a second one that was opposing. Paul Revere, what's up? One of the creepiest sights I've ever seen was a bunch of vultures poking around Kennedy's Space Center down in Florida. My buddy said, gator, oh yeah, anything, man, anything rotting. Have you seen the Mark Dice video on Donald Trump Jr. hunting triceratops in Africa? I have not. I haven't. Donald Trump Jr. likes some of my comments every now and then. Some of my posts. I have not met him. I've got some friends with him. Red Hawk versus Chihuahua. Bye Red Hawk. Aurora Rings, what's up, man? You guys that don't know, Aurora Rings makes some pretty cool rings. And even if you're like, I don't wear no damn rings, you should check out his social media channels, Instagram and TikTok. Quite the craftsman. Jason S., what's up? PH Info, have you seen the Mark Dice? Okay, we've read all these. Crazy how quick people actually snitch on their friends. Like the saying goes, a fish with its mouth closed doesn't get caught. Oh, nice. I'll be in town this weekend. Hope to see you. Yeah, Chase, we'll be around, man. Whether you see us here at our place or we see you out at the range. So, you know, talking about everybody telling on everybody, right? We have this, and I really need to remove myself from it, but I just can't. I keep going back. It's like a car wreck. There's a local Facebook page for Camden, Tennessee. And in there, lady's like, hey, just a heads up, y'all. The Subway sandwich shop in Walmart isn't taking coupons. And people are like, what? They have to take coupons. And they're like, well, they say they're not taking coupons currently because of inflation. And like 30 people are like, you need to report them. Go in there and make a big deal. And all these people are like, it's all over a coupon for a fucking sandwich. It's insane how worried. And the thing is, we're in a very, very impoverished county. And what you're seeing is poverty mindset. You are seeing people that are going to spend their weekend causing problems over a fucking sandwich that they didn't get a little bit of a discount on. And that's the poverty mindset, right? You literally have so much of nothing of value going on in your life that you're going to spend energy from your weekend to try to negatively affect some other person's fucking life over you not getting a fucking little bit of money off of a fucking sandwich that you shouldn't be fucking putting in your gullet anyways. I had planned on coming down today, working the shower, roof, and drain. Team members and neighbor who was going to help me got covered. Jonathan, I think Nicole, I think that's handled. I think Nicole's got that handled. Awesome of you. I think Ken's coming down a couple days before SRF and just knocking that out. It needs some bracing. It's one of my buddies looked at it yesterday, and it's super wobbly, and that's why the doors aren't opening all the way. Because there's just no bracing. We just need to take like some of the 2x4s halfway up the wall and knock that out and put, you know, a Z brace. It needs some X bracing and Z bracing in there. Not a big deal. Sandhill cranes are protected here in Nebraska. Nicole says she has it handled. Cameron Haynes, yeah, Cameron's fucking awesome. Cameron's absolutely awesome. Thank you for the short and gear from winning my question. Oh, shirt, Chuck, shirt, right on. $5 a month, well worth it. Yeah, I think it's well worth it. I think just the videos are worth it. Landed a job at Dolly's today. Right on. I don't know what Dolly's is, but congratulations, Second Militia. Live in Florida. If you kill a sandhill crane or a gator, you go to prison for 10 years. That's fucking crazy, isn't it? If you live in Florida, they're shooting fucking iguanas like it's crazy, and they're paying a bounty on it. Creepiest sights I've ever seen. Okay, we read all this. Invasive species of bamboo I need to kill. Okay, we've read all of these literally. Those people should be planting seeds, growing in a garden. Plant 3 old potatoes, do something but spend money on fast food. Paul, that's just how it is, man. It's just negativity breeds negativity. When the world ends, I want to eat a manatee. I watch some of his stuff on YouTube. I'm not on IG. We do their best. We just hit them with a car and throw them in the trunk. You little asshole. Psst. Get out of there. Gear ahead shirt is just a surprise bonus. Gear alone is like a year's worth of membership. Right on. Tyler, what's up? When the world ends, I want to eat a manatee. Cameron is more than a beast. He's an Cameron had a Cameron was on the MFCEO podcast, or well, now it's called Andy's. It's Real AF, right? Great interview. Great interview. If you have any interest in Cameron Haynes at all, and hearing him talk about hunting all those big different bears on the islands and stuff, great interview. There is one video Haynes put out a few years back where he pulled up on a huge bull and then didn't let it fly. It was crazy. Cam Haynes know any permaculture? R37. I have no idea, buddy. I don't know. Dolly Parton's house. Oh, cool, man. Cool. Manatee tastes like greasy chicken. Mentioned this, but can't remember. What brand of heirloom seeds do you buy for putting back vegetables? So I would have rareseeds.com. I would have told you. I think rareseeds.com is Baker Creek seed. Baker Creek seeds, but I've heard a lot of people the last 2 years saying that their shit's not working. Now, maybe that's Baker Creek, and maybe it's just soil they're using. I don't know. A lot of people bought bagged soil and compost from different places this last couple of years, and it's almost like there's a fucking toxin in it. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. I really think I brought in a lot of Miracle Grow soil this year, just in bags, like from Walmart, and we're going to amend it with other things. And we planted a lot of it. We put a lot in and put plants in it. And we got a lot of fucking weeds growing in there of shit we didn't plant there. And the only place it could have come from is from the Miracle Grow soil. So I think there's a lot of shit going on. Plus, there was shortages of labor. So, I mean, who knows who they contracted with to do that stuff. And that's a lot of the seed companies. A lot of the seed companies don't produce and grow all the seeds. They send people seed stock. They grow them and then harvest the seed and send it back to them. How long do a pair of Katanica shorts last? Seed Savers Exchange. There we go. Yeah, there's some heirloom groups also, which I think Seed Saver Exchange is. So they last. I don't have a pair of Katanica shorts that has failed. I have some Katanica shorts that are faded. I have a pair that I've been wearing for weeks outside that's just completely dirty, and then when they finally get washed, they're just not as crisp, right? And I have a lot of pairs also, so I might not be a really good person to ask. Like this pair right here, these are kind of dusty and dirty and just not as sharp, and I'll order every few months. I'll order a new pair or two pairs from Katanica, just so I have a brand new pair of Katanicas that's nice and sharp and crisp print. But I've never had one actually fail, though. I want to write a cookbook that has recipes for endangered species. I think you should totally do that. Like the movie The Freshman. Matthew Broderick, I think that was his name. Getting ready for yard sale tomorrow. In to say hello. Right on, Tay Jones. Miracle Grow is the organic refuse for your local dump. It really is, isn't it? I have to brag, I'm down 15 pounds. Fucking Brian, awesome, man. Good for you. Good for you. Billy Bond had the same issue earlier this year. Yeah, I've heard it from a lot of people. I'm going to get on the treadmill and send Billy a video and be like, hey, what are you doing at 10 o'clock tonight? We had a pig hit the electric netting. It squealed, hauled ass to the other side, hit the fence, ran to the other side, looked like a bacon pinball. All the Katanica shorts and pants that I have don't wear out. Some have faded after a couple of washes. So yeah, Steve. And like I have some pairs, like I have Multicam Arid and a few pairs that are lighter in color. I can't wear them. Like I'll get blood on them or something. Something will always happen. Now you could always Scotch guard them, which would keep, help unstain them. Elk muzzle loader, cool. Antelope muzzle loader, very cool. I would buy that cookbook and put it next to my anarchist cookbook. Do you have an anarchist cookbook, man? Go try to find one of those nowadays. Poor man's James Bond. Fuck, I had all those. Who was that? Paladin Press, I think's who had all that shit. We used to see them all the time at gun shows, all those books. Another collab with Katanica. Steve, I don't know. I'll reach out to Lynn. I talk to him every 4 or 5 months probably. I'll throw it at him. You can only find a redacted version. I've been looking for an anarchist cookbook for probably 20 years. Chase, there's got to be somewhere. Bob, what's up, man? Not think the Katanicas wear out. My boys are hard on everything, but short still holding up. I have most of them photocopied. I'll bet there's a PDF of it somewhere, and then you could take it and have it printed. Look at all those MSWs. eBay is where I got my original. Just looking locally, don't want to buy online. I'm on enough lists. Baker Creek seed worked flawless, no issues whatsoever. Ordered about 30 different seeds. Good, man. Good to hear. Good to hear. Heard you also swear by those shoes you wear too. What brand are they? Jason S. These are Solomon's Speed Crosses. I have a lot of them. Glyphosate was the issue, I believe, this year. I remember seeing anarchist cookbooks in the Army surplus store. Yeah, Steve, me too. As a kid, man, I do. I do remember that. Those are Hank's. They're Hank's. She's got quite a few of them together. She's just got to do the outside seam and then run whatever contrast. I'm sure she's probably putting an orange thread around these. What's the blue star next to my name? It's the Jewish Star of David. I don't fucking know what it is. I don't have a clue. Blue star next to your name. Oh, on here it means you have a membership. Fuck. It means you're a member of our group on here. Jason S. What's up? Blue Star member. Solomon's are real. What's the, yeah? It means you're a member, which means you're seeing the private videos. Don't need anarchist cookbook. Memorize as a teenager. Add hanging out with kids who got an A in chemistry. Amy, what's up? Amy Jones, GB. There's two, I don't know if they're still online. There's two lonely, large, multi-cam black tool bags there. Anybody on here? I know Ed was on here. Super MAGA kit bags, nuclear option. Anybody on here have Super MAGA kit bags? John's marking you. Always buy with a story. Like when we were out of the country, I bought a knife for self-defense at a grocery store and a block of cheese to go with it. Misdirection. So when you're at the bazaar and you're buying an AK, preferably gold plated, what story do you buy? What else do you buy to go with your gold plated AK? When I'm sneaking into Cambodia to rescue Vietnam POWs. Gold Gill, you're on a rap CD. How many trees are going into the swales? Gilming. I don't have this. I think there's 28 total maybe going in there. All said, like, and that's trees. That's not all the other stuff. That's just trees. What's everybody's plans for the weekend? What's everybody doing this weekend? We recorded a lot of video today and yesterday. The private membership video for this week's questions is 3 hours long. And I think that's being broken. I already saw some of it. That's being broken down into 30-minute videos. And I think those are going up Sunday. When you buy gold-plated AK, you got to be wearing Adidas or Puma tracksuit, right? Ripping butt. Fermentation workshop. Oh, very cool. Is that online or is that in person? Beach tomorrow to overnight. Cool. Working, Amy. Isaac Barrett, work. Gold-plated turban. Bananas for monkey bait. Going hunting. How are the fruit trees doing? Chuck. Yeah, because you saw that video, right? Maybe 6 of them haven't made it. And who knows, man? They still might spring back. They might still have some life in them. Some of them look pretty good. And some, like 6 of them, look like they're not good. Arm wrestling practice for the weekend. Career working, making that money. Grandma's funeral. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Sorry to hear that. Arm wrestling practice. Brian, are you is that real, or are you being silly? I feel like you're not being silly. I feel like, what's that movie, Over the Top? I was going to buy that cookbook when I was in beauty school, but the people at the store there on Hill Street said, don't buy it here because you have to go to the list. So my buddy Rich was an EOD guy. And there's a super famous EOD guy, and his name is Chris Cherry. And we used to build a product. We built several products for no-nail, non-electric primer cord, non-electric fuse, and there was a Qualtech dual prime igniter. And basically, it's an aluminum block, and you unlatch this thing, and you put 2 shotgun primers in it. And the shotgun primers would actually ignite the non-electric fuse. And you had 2 holes in this thing, and you put the fuses, 2 separate fuses, and you clamped them down. And anytime you were setting a demolition, you would set 2, so that if one failed, there was always a secondary, because you're using it for breaching. And once you've breached, whatever your target is knows that you're there at that point. So we made these things. We got to meet this dude named Chris Cherry, super cool. And we got introduced to a bunch of the bomb squad guys. And they had rolled up at some place. Somebody had a bomb go off. So these guys come rolling up, and they go up into his bathroom. And he was making some kind of explosive, and he had an anarchist cookbook. And it was open to whatever page, and he's making this batch of explosives in his bathtub. And it detonates. It goes high order. It blows up. And it came up and followed the curvature of the bathtub and sheared him off right below his groin. So it took the explosion, followed the path of the bathtub angle, and liquefied everything above his crotch area. So when they walked in, there was a pair of totally clean boots and a pair of legs in shorts, and that was all that was there, were these 2 legs standing there independently right where he was, and the rest of everything had been liquefied. Going to get all the fall cleanup equipment out of maintenance to start running right on. Arm wrestling is still viewed as underground for bars, but the top elite guys are drawing enough PPV money, pay-per-view money, that they are making bank. Eastern European countries view it as a... Dude, fucking awesome, bro. Awesome, man. Going to be making dragon eggs with resin with different little trinkets inside to sell in my free time and managing the vape shop for work. Cool, dude. Cool. I saw some of your dragon eggs, actually. I saw some video of you making those. This weekend, rain in California. I'm just going to stand in it. Don't stand in it. It's probably toxic. Teaching a class tomorrow, cleaning up some raised beds. I never saw Nicole fermentation workshop. I didn't see her answer. What I was going to say is, if it's online, you should post a link in here. So if anybody is interested in seeing that, it will be well worth your money, and you can check that out. Speaking of liquefied body parts, I've got some stories to tell you, Chase. I bet you do. I'll bet you do. Can you just bring me any amputation that comes in that you can't put it back on? Just bring me the amputation. I'm starting a 5-gallon glass Sparklets jug full of human teeth. I want another one full of like pinky fingers. My friend's ranch is about to burn up. Hope it rains there. Is that due to fire, or are you just saying because of drought? Bathtub acted as a cone and became a shape chart. That's exactly what happened, Bob. That is exactly what happened. Headed back to Sugar Tree to look for some property. Nice, man. Cool. Amy, it's really best to just drive up and look around if you can. That's what I did. Some good areas in or near Camden for prop. Holiday seems to have a lot of stuff available. Holiday. People are weird here. You still have dudes that are like, I'm not using those evil cell phones. So while you look online and you see things, a lot of what is available is not actually online. You'll be driving down the road here and see a truck or a car or a jet ski or something in somebody's yard. I would say front yard, but they don't really have front or backyards here. It's just like it's like a yard, right? So you'll see this thing and it'll have a big sign that says for sale, right? So you'll stop and you'll look to see how much it costs. And there won't be a fucking price, because the price depends on who you are, right? Whether they like you or they think they like you, the price will vary. And that's just, people are weird like that. And then they'll be like, oh, wasting my time. Well, if you'd put a fucking price, people would know whether they want to fuck with you or not. I'll be there for SRF. Hope to have a chance to shop for it. Amy, come in a day or two early or stay a day or two late. Really best to drive up. We've had a lot of people here today already. A lot of people through. Do I own a halogen? I don't anymore. You're talking about a 4th century tool, right? Halogen tool. I do not currently have one. I had tons of breachers tools. All that shit got left in San Diego, and we haven't built any breacher packs or anything like that. We used to build them just like other companies did, but they would fall apart, right? You're carrying metal or titanium tools or even aluminum, and trying to make, Cordura carry that shit. It's not ideal. You're much better off using, Delrons and aluminum frames and stuff like that. Will Camden get rain this week? Bob, it is very possible that Camden will get rain. We had rain a couple times last week. My swales have water in them right now today. There's polywogs in the back. So it is highly possible that we will get some rain. Look how stupid this looks uneven. It's like having a third nipple. Oh, that comment actually posted, got an email saying I won something. You said the video for members will post on Sunday. That is true. You got an email saying you won something, huh? I guess Amanda put that in. We have shipped, we had 5 winners from the private group for this week, and we have already shipped your stuff. And I might be wrong, but I thought Amy was one of them too. I think she got something last week too. You said you considered a hardened cistern using concrete, etc. What's the advantage over just buying a specific tank or similar? So LW Jax, I was talking to Thad, aka Fat Nuts, and he does like commercial steel buildings and stuff. Bob Lester could probably also answer that question. But what we're talking about is basically a rectangle culvert, or a box, a concrete box, and then they put some stuff around the edge, and then you use a crane or even probably a telehandler would probably do it, and you put a concrete lid on it. So that basically is a cistern. Because ideally where we put a cistern is out where semi trucks drive around, right? So I need to have vehicles, heavy dump trucks with gravel and stuff, and semi trucks. I need it to be able to drive around there. And while you're digging that and putting that in, you might as well put another one and call it a storm shelter or bunker or whatever, and go from there. And I would want to build it also in a manner that I could probably get into it if I had to, or at least uncap it and be able to bail water by hand if we had to. You said consider it hardened. That comment actually posted. Got an email saying I won. At Bob probably. When can we get this rig? We are probably going to put this rig out to private members. I thought we were going to do it tonight, but that hasn't happened. So maybe tomorrow, depending how crazy things are tomorrow, we might put these up to private members tomorrow. Currently, right now, I have enough material to do them in black, not a ton of them, and I have material to do them in multicam black. I don't have, and the cases of black elastic have not shown up. I'm not sure what's up yet. Have you looked at putting in a simple pump for a cistern? Evan, absolutely. Yeah, you mean like a hand pump or something? I have a 6-foot concrete forms when you're ready to build. See, I told you Bob would know. I told you Bob would know. Any single point sling. Yeah, all of the single point slings, I think. Need some for the department shotguns. Lefty Tactical, what up? I had a bunch of black ones. I've got green, maybe a dozen coyote. I have gray, and I am low on black, which means we'll probably make black as soon as those 3 sell. Those are single points. Would you be able to give a guess at how long that retention would last in that rig? Just got an email from Amanda saying I won as well. Thanks in advance. It's elastic. It's going to wear out. What's going to really happen with it is sharp edges and pointy things are going to wear it out. Like if you put Velcro up against this elastic, it'll start to kind of fuzz the elastic. With that said, we've got dudes with shotgun cards out there that are 20 years old. We've got dudes out there that are, we saw 25-year-old 12-gauge pullout trays that still functioned, flawlessly. I had a dude, I don't know if he was on video here or he emailed me. Within the last week or two, a dude was like, hey, I've got some 10-year-old shot shell holders, and they're still completely tight. They still fully function. But we make a tray. I don't see one here. Here's one. The old trays, the originals, hold 16 rounds. And you would put these any place you could put 2 M4 mags, and you would take 550 and run it through this bottom channel and run both legs of the 550 through the grommet on the bottom of the CQB or Rallyman or patrol pouch, and then tie a big knot in it. So you could pull it out when you needed to reload, put up to 8 rounds in the gun, and then have another 8 dangling there, which it always bother you. It'd smack you around. It's definitely not as good as the 12-gauge pullout trays or pouches, but it's definitely, it was the best thing there was at the time. 4 shotgun card, 12-year-old. Right on, Mr. Ike. There we go. Question: do we consider the liquefied torso explosion a success or failure? Well, his shit went off, but what detonated it? What was he probably had a cigarette in his mouth. What made it go? And he probably needed some more tamping to his charge or something. I'm sure it was not. I mean, we were laughing about it. The guys telling me were laughing about it. Cell phones didn't exist at the time, so there was not like, they couldn't just whip out something out of their pocket and have photos. Thank you, sir. I haven't been to TAC Response or the shop in a few years. Need to take a trip back up soon. Absolutely. Would you be able to give a guess? Yeah, I just got an email from Amanda. So we went through, there was a lot of good questions. There's a lot of, I think there's some really good conversation in there. Amanda was on several of those also. Andy Frisella said he's having Mike Glover on the show. Good. Fucking good, man. Whoever sent the super chat, thank you. I didn't even see that. I don't even see a highlighted comment in here. Here we go. DJ Guzman, that covert road is looking better with each live. Yeah, it's getting a little. I've got it down how it's going to be. Jason S, have a good night, man. Did all the dumb customers go away? Haven't seen customer rant. Brandon, we are just so fucking busy, man. I'm just so busy. Like, so when I get something stupid that happens, and if I go make a video right then, I'm motivated to do it. But usually, I'm checking emails between a ton of other shit, right? So I have a bunch of chargers on my desk. So I came in to grab batteries today, and I just happened to click over, right? I come in to get batteries, and I'm like, okay, check emails, right? So I just start looking at emails real quick. And really what I'm doing is deleting notifications and stuff so that everything left are real emails. And when I see something dumb and I make a video, the video comes out really good, and that's usually what you see. But if I come in here and I'm grabbing batteries, and then I'm right back to what we were doing, and I'm like, okay, I'll blast this guy later. The wind is out of my sails, right? I'm like, man, I have real shit today to do. I don't have time to fucking tell this guy to fuck off. So usually, and the better ones, the more recent ones, I have made some. I've made probably a couple dozen of them this year. And what I typically do when a dude's like, when's my order going to ship? This is bullshit, right? Or maybe I imagine the tone or whatever, but I just cancel and refund his order. I just kill his order. And when they go crazy, like, why'd you kill my order? I didn't want my order killed. I just wanted to know where my shit was. Those are usually when you see me make a video. And I'm really of the belief when you're putting negative shit out, it tells the fucking universe that you want more negative shit sent back to you. And I think there's really something to that. So much so that I haven't really been making them videos. But the crazy shit is when I make those videos, we all laugh about it and it's cool. They get a lot of comments. When I make a video really that could help you in your fucking day-to-day life, they don't get any comments. They just don't. Dying laughing with Panic Prepper earlier. We had a good time doing that. I knew a guy making a tracer compound, had to try it in the oven. Oh, had to dry it in the oven. It lit the oven up like the 4th of July. Mom was mad when the fire extinguisher dust settled. Was he a kid? Was he a kid? I have some good stories. I have some good stories. I still question whether we should even put those out public someday. I mean, statute of limitations is long over, but they make me laugh so hard, the videos you make. Damn, I'm late. Philip Strother, what's up, buddy? Man, one of the most resonant things I've ever took from you was 10% of our customers take 90% of your headaches. That's absolutely true, though, Brian, isn't it? And if you're telling me that, you're in business, right? So, like, that really holds true. And when I poke and prod those guys, right? Like, I actually develop that a little bit, right? So when they're mad, that 10%, I poke them and prod them and really kind of like hold the flame under their ass, right? I light that fuse. And what happens is they still want the thing. So they're going to now spend their entire free time talking shit about your company. No publicity is bad publicity. The other thing that happens when you fire that dude and he can't do business with you, a lot of times they have the wife or somebody else come and replace the order anyways. But when they can't get it from you, they go to your competitor. And most competitors, most businesses are of the mind that the customer is always right. So they're going to take all that dude's bullshit, and a dude that's a problem for you is usually a problem for everyone. But because of human resources, or because the dude that owns the company is oftentimes not interacting and dealing directly with the consumer, they just put up with his bullshit. And it bogs down your competitor's time. When you fire that 10% of those problematic customers, those dudes nest with your competitors and eat up your competitors' time. And that leaves you more free time for those fucking competitors, customers from the competitors that are good customers. They will try somebody else out when the times change. I was going to send you an email to you calling you a jerk like Jack, and I thought I'd just tell you here. Just finished loading up for the trip to Camden, putting all my SOE gear to good use. Evan, man, I'll see you soon, man. We're going to open the gates here at 10. Everybody's in town for James, for sure, and definitely do that, absolutely. When it gets hot or rained or whatever, the doors will be open. We've got stuff we're going to be doing here tomorrow. So come on in, and we're going to go out to the range also tomorrow, before they light the bonfire and everything starts there. How late will I be here tomorrow? Evan, I don't think we'll even leave. We'll be here at least till dark, I would think. 90-10 rule applies to employees. It does. 10% of your employees will do 90% of the work. That 10% of your employees are 90% of your frustration. And when you cut that shitty 10% out, you will find that they were literally, it was an infection. It was a festering fucking limb of the body of employees. Like I have a person, I don't even want to point to her workstation, but when you look at her, she always looks like she's just sour, like she's rotting. And she's always the slowest. And I'm like, look, when I asked you to build one of these, you built it in 45 minutes. And then when I gave you a bunch, you only built 6 in the entire day. That's a problem, right? When you walk through here, she's always looking at you. Well, if you're looking at me, you're not fucking running the sewing machine. And I don't like you, and you clearly don't like me. When you see her, she looks like she always has that look on her face like she's got to take a shit. And we have weeded out, like we have a fucking really good crew right now. We've had a lot of people who worked here in the past who have come back to work. Girl was telling me today, I know her name, I'm just not putting her name out there. She's like, man, it's been 6 years. I'm like, no, it hasn't. She's like, yes, it's been 6 years. And I'm like, I'm glad you're back. She's like, I am fucking so thankful to be back. So we've had a lot of people, come and go over the years, but a lot of them are coming back, which is fucking great. Hello from California. 10% of your employees make you 90% of your money. Yes. And that 10% also makes sure other employees make you money. A Tucker Max style book on John's story would be awesome. I'm not sure who that is. Store manager truth. 90% of the time, the first person you reach on the phone, me, can take care of what you... Brian, that is so true, man. When you call up irate, like I tell people all the time, look, when you're talking to somebody, they can almost always give you what you want, but they can almost always, right? But they for sure always can keep you from getting what you want. And dudes they'll just be like, they'll send you this email and like the closing line will be something shitty. So I'll cancel and refund them. And they're like, man, why'd you cancel and refund my order? I go, you shit the bed right here. And I'll quote what they said. I go, if you'd have just left this out, we would have shipped your shit today. And it's weird, man. It is like a magnet, right? Especially with the shotgun card guys. Guy will order a shotgun card. Let's see what color we don't have. I have every color in 6 round. I have every color in 5 round right now, right? But let's say dude ordered 10 shotgun cards. We don't have them. The day we get the order and we don't have the cards, the order goes over to cutting. And I put on there, hey, plus 25, plus 50, plus 75, whatever. And they cut them that day. And within a day or two, sewing gets to them and they sew them and we ship your shit. Inevitably, almost every time you have seen a shotgun card blast, right, where I blast a dude over a shotgun card, the shotgun card's ready to ship. Like we'll have built them the night before, it just hasn't been boxed and he hasn't got tracking. There's 200 fucking packages every day. A lot of time, oftentimes more than 200. These are just boxes that were boxed tonight after close of business. She was here till 6:30 tonight shipping boxes. These are ones that were packed after that. So usually the dude that loses his shit and gets his order canceled, we could have shipped his order. Almost always. It's because the universe is just like attracts the weirdo. Who has not thumbs up the live? The number, yeah, there's some of them. Amy, speak of the devil, what's up? What % of your products bought our military LEO, and what % are civilians? Brandon, I don't know anymore. I just don't care. I just don't know. The civilians, a civilian never goes, hey, can I have a civilian discount? They never ask that. Hey, can I have a civilian discount? But LEO, law enforcement, every fucking, and I know there's some of you guys that don't. But every time somebody asks me for hey, do you have a law enforcement discount? No. Rather than making you send me documentation and then wondering when your shit gets jacked if it was me that did it, we just give you all the same price. Does your tourniquet pouch fit evenly on the side of a tear-off med pouch? It does. Yeah, it does, Brandon. It does. And that's what that tear-off, you're talking about the compact tear-off, right? And that's what that's for. You could also just use some bungee and bungee it on there and not buy that. Now, if you're using it prolonged, you definitely want to keep your tourniquets out of UV light. So that's a good idea. Been here the whole time. Just tend to listen. Right on, right on. My wife is pre-K teacher and will come home telling me about some of her bad kids, and I will make a bet that I talked to their parent that day. Any plans to bring back some wrench rolls? Stay fit. Absolutely. Yeah, send me an email. Let me know what color you want. And if you tell me something stupid, not really, but if you tell me something that we can't build, I'll probably be like, yeah, we're not going to make those. But we will build them. We'll probably run some in multicam black. I've had 4 different customers in here today, completely unrelated, like, hey, do you have visor covers? And one of the dudes wanted like coyote visors. I don't sell shit for coyote visors. We'll probably run them though in black and multicam black because I could do 120 of them and we'll sell them out in an hour. Always something with shotgun card, guys. Justin Hill. It's because it's a $15 item. It's because it's like that entry level drug. And not only that, right? It's not, some guys are like, I was just buying this. I was going to buy thousands of dollars of gear from you. I just bought this to see how your service was. Well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I also don't care. But a lot of it's the poverty mindset thing, right? We always saw those guys at the gun show. I was one of those guys, right? You would go and you want that AR-15, but you're never going to save up $1,000 to get that AR-15. And when I was doing stupid shit, right? It was like a XM1775 or like a CAR 15 that actually said CAR 15 on it, Colt, Commando or whatever. And you would never save that money because every gun show you would buy a Mini 14 or an M1 carbine or an SKS, right? You're always like buying a Mosin Nagant, right? It's that always buying the inexpensive thing rather than just waiting a couple of weeks or months to get the thing that you really want. Because there's an endorphin release. When we spend money, it's like having sex, it's like doing drugs. And people who are depressed or lacking adventure or action, you can get that dopamine hit when you spend money. And I was actually talking to Billy Birdzell and Luther today and Justin and a couple of the dudes about that. And I'm like, we call those guys prep tenders or collectors, right? And he's like, what do you mean? I go, well, because preppers, they always can just buy some things, right? They never go take the class on how to use the compressed gauze, but they can get in bed, and while they're in bed, they can get on Amazon and buy some more compressed gauze or some mini hyphen chest seals, right? But when you look at their shit, it not only do they not know how to use it, it's not unpackaged and in a kit of any usable form. It's the same, it's like the fitness, right? Fitness is fucking free. But how many people that we are around won't work out? I understand can't, right? I understand can't work out. I also know dudes missing fucking a leg and an arm on the same fucking body that have done 6 more deployments with special operations. So I understand guys that can't. I understand pain and age and stuff like that. But how many people that are in tactical arena or prepping or any of that they're like when they just eat ice cream when they're hungry, and they won't work out, right? And you always hear, yeah, I'm busy, I don't have time. and you hear, I can't, I don't have money. I don't have friends that don't have money. I don't have friends that can't afford to go to the gym. But the thing is, it's all free. It's all free. Movement is free. Fitness is free. And when you move, it fucking fixes and rewires your mental capacity. John, have you ever written a book? If not, you should. Life hacks. Casey, my book's going to be written, and it's probably going to have to be by a woman. But it's going to be written when I have somebody who is here that I don't mind being close to me enough that they can hear and interact in the stories and know how I think to fill the gaps in, right? I won't write a book. I'll never take the time to write a book. And it just has to be somebody that will do that, right? Shannon Burnett had always say, I'm going to come out and I'm going to fucking write your book. Like, I feel like I could probably work with her, right? I could probably have her in my space. I wouldn't mind her hearing the conversations and the private stuff. So like that was the person who I actually thought that might actually happen at some point. Amanda's too fucking busy. She's just too busy to do it. So a book, probably not. Probably not. You want to make a lot of money? Write a fucking book. Like it's not my, writing. I'm fucking illiterate. I can barely read. Like, you hear me when I read, I stutter and shit, all the time. And I have to reread the line over and over. I've always been that way. I've never taken the time to become a good reader, especially a good, out loud reader. Panic Prepper should write a handbook. 100% correct. That's why my PayPal credit is maxed out 3 days after I pay it off. PH info. Any red fabric? I do not have red fabric, Bob. I actually sent in an email to another vendor, and I didn't hear back from them yet. I will buy thousands of dollars of gear when it does. I'm in bed wanting to buy stuff. Pretender in the making. Okay, so for anybody that doesn't know Bob, if you don't know Bob, I feel sorry for you. And if you ever get the chance to go somewhere where Bob is, Bob, not only does Bob do things, Bob facilitates things. And Bob will, if you're around Bob, you will want to do things also. And his kids are fucking insanely amazing. They're very cool people. And if you're here tomorrow and you don't know who Bob is, ask me and I will introduce you to Bob. You may be just, I'm very possible, man. Hey John, you made a multicam black red thread diaper bag for me. PayPal won't let me use friends and family. Can I just add 3%? Aaron, don't worry about the 3%. Just fucking send it however you can send it. Don't even worry about the 3%. It's weird. I had a dude the other day. I bought, what did I buy? Oh, I can't tell you. Amanda's on here. I bought something very fucking cool, Victorian time period, for our oddities collection, and I really bought it for Amanda. I bought her two things. And the dude, and I've done business with this guy before. He's very fucking famous in that genre. And I said, hey, let me pay you. I can pay you Cash App or PayPal. He's like, hey, can you pay me on Facebook, through Facebook, and you can use PayPal? I'm like, sure. I go to do PayPal, and PayPal's like, your account's been locked due to suspicious activity. And I know it's my shit. I'm on my Facebook account. I'm like, hey, bro, I can't do this. Let me PayPal you, and I'll just send the 4%. And he's like, dude, don't worry about it. I just, like, PayPal won't let you do friends and family anymore. Now, I pay several people every week through PayPal using friends and family. So I don't know where the disconnect is, why some people can and some people can't, but that is factual. So, diaper bag guy, we only do that so because you don't have any recourse to charge it off. You can't ever ask for the money back. But go ahead and pay it. I'm not even worried about the 4%. They say it's 3%, but on the back end of the charges, 4% actually covers it and 3% doesn't. Don't worry about the 3%. Just send the money, and your diaper bag, it's beautiful. It's sitting right here. Of course, no, I brought her Victorian breast implants. Not really. Because I have all of the Victorian era medical tools to do the install for her. They've gotten weird with the friends and family lately. Guys, use Cash App. I pay a dude I pay a dude's salary through Cash App every week. And there's never a problem. I was paying him PayPal, and I was sending him money every week. And then PayPal held a large sum of money. So we didn't know what the fuck was up with that. And they froze his account and shit over it. And the only money coming into his account was from me, a customer of PayPal for fucking 20 years or whatever. So I use Cash App wherever I can, and there's not a fee with Cash App. Stilts. I got her another unicycle. PayPal locked my wife's account and made her send her driver's license to prove that she was really who they said. And it was because of suspicious activity. It was under like $20 purchase. Ray, yeah, it's crazy, man. They have all my shit. We call PayPal and we're like, hey, we're going out of state. We're going to use these PayPal accounts. Don't lock our cards down. And every single fucking time, we'll run a couple transactions, and the third or fourth one will always decline, and they lock down the card. So we get on the phone, and 30 minutes later, they're like, sorry. I'm like, we called you guys. Like, surely you see it in the thing. I know it's not your problem, not your fault, but we called you before we even left the state and said we're going to be traveling. Please don't lock this card down. Do you have any ideas on bringing up buying out the owner of a store? He offered it to me a long time ago and was clearly just blowing smoke. Well, if he doesn't want to sell it, you probably can't sell it. We do definitely need more details about what that is and what that looks like. And also, you're on open social media. Don't be surprised if it gets back to him, number one. So don't say what it is what I'm telling you. And you never know what anonymous asshole is listening. Like if you're ever going to have a website you're going to get, or you start talking about buying, you're going to, my business name is this. If you don't have your website, never tell anybody that until you go buy the website, which doesn't cost shit. You can do it literally. Just make sure you have it before somebody else fucking buys it and then wants to sell it to you. If you had to start over in business, but couldn't make gear, what biz? I'd have a whorehouse, Rick. I'd have a whorehouse, or I'd do porn. Mostly I would be the star of all my porn, and I would shoot it myself also. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd probably be like Laura Croft. I'd be a Tomb Raider. And like people say stuff jokingly, like literally that's what I would be. I'd be like a cat burglar. I don't know where this cat got this. It looks like a split ring that's been unwound, and it just keeps picking up this piece of metal and throwing it around. I once poached a domain from a guy who had printed it on his shirt and hadn't bought it, used as tactic to get some stolen stuff back from the owner. Yeah, absolutely, Evan. Absolutely, man. I had a dude work for me that he did my websites and stuff in San Diego, and he had bought surefire.com. Surefire.com. Bought surefire.com, had blackhawk.com, had blackhawktacticalgear.com, had all kinds of shit, right? And he sold those things for, I think he got like $15,000 a gear from Blackhawk in trade for that. There we go. See, there's my other business right there. Nude HD XYZ. How do you pick good manufacturers for your materials? Have you had to fire any of them? What do you mean manufacturer? You mean actual like mills and stuff? You don't have a lot of choices. Like there ain't a lot of choices. Everybody knows we all use the same mills for the most part. Very dying business. Frank, what's up, man? Started with business. Rick, man, if I was starting, like if I came home from prison right now and literally had zero to my name, I think I would do trash delivery. I think I'd do trash pickup, or maybe dog deliveries. Right? There's a big people pay big money on pets, and they pay a lot of money to have them transported, and that puts you in a vehicle where you can drive, and you can, once you're in your vehicle driving, you can listen to what you want to and kind of plan your route out, right? Oddities, I really like oddities. If I was closing down, or if I was starting over right now and I know what I know, and I wasn't going to do this, I would probably do antique stuff. I'd get a big ass Sprinter van, like a dually, you know, a 1-ton Sprinter van. And I would just drive around doing oddities and antiques and stuff, but I would do deliveries for people, right? So there's all these oddities groups that I'm in, and a lot of people buy these things. They'll fly in for these conventions and shit, and they'll buy giraffes and stuff, right? You're gonna pay $3,000, and this was years ago. You're gonna pay $3,000 to have somebody from the West Coast bring you a giraffe mount. It's just what it costs. Well, we're already coming this way, and we haven't gone and picked California. So for $3,500, I'll come pick your giraffe up, and I'll have it to your destination in 10 days, 12 days, or whatever. And while we're driving, the van's gonna have a giraffe in it, and we're gonna stop at all of the antique places along the way. Say I'm taking it from California to Texas or whatever, we're gonna go to Round Top while we're out there, and we're gonna fill the van up with other shit. And once we have other shit, we're gonna put it in these groups, and we're gonna show it for sale. Oh yeah, by the way, I'll actually deliver this for you for another few $100 or whatever. And it would just be perpetual. We would just travel, stay in hotels, and do shit we want to do, right? And I would do it 30 days at a time and then come home. We did that a lot through COVID. Amanda and I did that quite a bit. We weren't transporting people's stuff, but we bought a fucking high top van and everything, and did a lot of that kind of stuff. So we would just go around, and when you're doing that, it puts you in different settings. You have the opportunity to film a lot, right? And film different locations and different places and talk to people, and there's eyeballs for everything. So I mean, it would be multiple revenue streams. I'm really of the belief it literally doesn't matter. You could be like, okay, I'm gonna show you guys. You can make a video. I'm gonna show you guys how to cut your grass with scissors, and you could just have some epic B-roll zoomed in, fucking on high speed, you know, and then slow, so you get really good slow motion, and then have good sound design of clipping grass with scissors. I promise you. I'll bet you'd have fucking millions of viewers by the end of the year. The other one I said we were going to do was shit and kitten. We got these boy cats out here, and they shit in the gravel. And when one shits, within 30 seconds, another cat will come up, sniff, and piss or shit where the other cat shit. It's the weirdest thing. And I'm like, we should fucking put a camera feed out here and just we'll just upload a video of nothing but a cat taking a shit every day. You'd have fucking millions of viewers off of that, and you could print shirts like Assholes Live Forever that just said shit and kitten. And so now you're selling merchandise, you're getting click-through revenue, you have Amazon shops. If you're not making money, it's because you're not fucking trying to make money. What podcast do I listen to every day? I don't listen to anything every day. When I listen to podcasts, Survival Podcast is always one that I listen to. Andy Frisella, Real AF, I listen to his. Lore, Lore, I listen to the Lore podcast. Let me go ahead and give you a name of a dude that just started a podcast, and I would appreciate if you would check his podcast out. Maybe it's not for you. I'm not even sure who this guy is. Let me show you what he sent me. Rent a Midget, I have that still. I still have Rent a Midget. I remember hearing your story from San Diego days. Your story is inspiring. Rick, man, welcome. What's up? Watching you would be way cooler than American Pickers. We know the American Pickers guys. We have some friends that are actually, we're partnered with them. Cool dudes. Cool dudes. So this dude, I got this in the mail today. There's a lot of shit in here. And Amanda's like, let me see that. I go, yeah, here, you should hold it too, so you get fentanyl all over you. Jake Reed is this guy's name. I didn't even see there was actually cash in here. And he sent mornings are for he sent some stickers. Sent this little card here. During the American Revolution, the Continental dollar was printed to represent hard silver or gold money and was used to pay for the soldiers. When it became worthless, the saying "I don't give a Continental" became as common as worthless paper slips. So he sent all this stuff, so he's got kind of these props that go with it. But what caught me was this piece of parchment and what he wrote on here. So I don't know, yeah, right, the fentanyl all over my nose. I don't know if he really listens to me. I don't know if he's wanting me to go on his podcast. I don't know what he wants, but I did listen to a couple episodes of his podcast. I think he has 4 of them. One's just a test podcast. But check him out and just give it a listen. I feel like he's going to grow this into something. And it is pleasestatethenature.com. Pleasestatethenature.com. So check him out. Give it a listen, or at least play it in the background. And keep that dude on your radar for a podcast. I like that he went to the effort to send this, and where he really got me, he got me with the fucking wax stamp and the parchment paper. That's where he got me. And the props are cool too. The last time I saw a movie where they got shit like this, they all showed up at a castle, right? And then they all got killed. Dollar Vigilante. The cats are marking their territory. Whatever happened with the Rent a Midget, I still have that domain. What podcast do you listen to? I remember hearing your story. If you have a good idea for a website name and look it up and it's available, you need to buy it immediately. Yeah, I think I currently have 79 different domains. Do you have any issues with IBC totes freezing in the winter? I just bought my first tote, and I don't want to have any problems with it filled in the winter. Ray F., where are you located? I'm in Tennessee. I have several IBC totes elevated 6 feet in the air, full of water, and we have never done anything through the winter. We've never opened the valve, nothing. I have adapters on them to garden hoses, and typically the brass in there will actually break, right? Faucet nozzles break. I've never had them leak. I've never had anything happen with them. Now I have IBC totes over here for aquaponics, and there's actually fish in those IBC totes. And for about a week to 2 weeks out of the year, those IBC totes, the water will freeze up like an ice cube, and you can actually put your hand between the IBC tote and the actual block of ice. And the fish are frozen in the block of ice. And then as soon as it warms up, the water unfreezes and the fish come back to life. Connecticut, a little colder. Yeah, you might want to ask somebody from a colder climate about that than me. OnlyFans. Better fentanyl than anthrax. I can treat. Well, I guess I could treat fentanyl too. I can treat anthrax. All right, guys, I'm gonna get off of here. Covert rig. We will probably first of all, the covert rigs, when we put them up, they will not be visible. You're gonna have to know what to look for. So don't try to game it, right? We're gonna put them up in the private group, and we're gonna put a link. And when they go to the website, you will not be able to find them without the link. So that's what's going to happen first. Learn today, lettuce is a great painkiller, Mr. Ike. Damn skunk in my garage. So open the door and walk away. You do not want to fuck with being sprayed by a skunk all weekend. I have a very good skunk story. I have a couple of them, actually. It involves a skunk skin and my mother's washing machine and dryer. When you put a skunk in the dryer after you wash it in tomato juice in the washing machine, imagine my surprise when smoke starts coming out of the dryer because all the oil is not out of the hide and it heats up and coats the entire inside of the dryer. $18,000 sounds like a deal for a T-Rex. Bob, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. It's life size. Like, dude, it's 90 minutes from here. You can totally go see it. Kentucky Rifleman, classy ad for a shout out. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good night. If you're in town, I will see you tomorrow. And if you're not in town, you should think about being in town. A letter is foreign to a lot of people. Absolutely, Kentucky. Absolutely. That's why Forcella's people really stand out. First Form Nutrition. When you order from them, it comes with a handwritten note. Anybody ever get a handwritten letter from us? Anybody ever get a handwritten letter on your packing order? Anybody ever get a black card, bifold card, in a black envelope with silver Sharpie from us? We haven't done them in a long time, but we did for a while. I'm just short on manpower right now. Evan Dixon, look, I got a little radio too. You're like, motherfucker, I know that ain't programmed. It actually is programmed. I thought Don't Move Here was a theme. Little motherfucker. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.